for? Should we put the a switch right? Yeah, that's certainly. Yeah, I mean that's what I did originally. Right, even though that doesn't match up there perfect. Oops, I don't want that. Probably one more. Two more. Yeah, that's a bit of a straight section. Can I go? Well, let's just see how that looks once we put the track. It's hard to see that these tracks have very straight lines. So it's a lot easier to see exactly where they're going. They're not faded in. Right, so if we sit off to the side here, you can definitely see if it's got a big whoomp in it. It's really not too bad. I mean, the biggest problem we're having here, too, is this. Right, and that's, I mean, even though we're on the turn, I mean, we could come straight up out of there. I feel like that's looking a lot better. And so I guess this going straight again is part of the ticket. Oops. Let's see what we can't do with this. So this is just too sharp, really, to begin with. So the question is, do we run a piece of rail like from all the way down there and around to here? Do we want to change this in any way? If we do, we're talking about changing all of that. And I don't know that I want to get into all of that at this moment. So let's start from here. See if we can't do like our automated turning and try to keep this, see what like 25 looks like. And now as far as this goes, that's another, almost really like this to be on an uphill. But let's see, now that we got more room, let's just see. I want to be at this height, no doubt, though. Or do I? Yeah, see, that's level. Well, let's just see what happens. See if it. All right, so I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do Alt and Y. Let's see what going right into a 15% grade looks like. But we went the wrong way. Which I guess I kind of knew from up there. All right, so it's not even. See, that's part of the problem there. That's just a massively tight turn. Now we could swing it wide up in here, but look how high up the hill we have to go. Yeah, where would I go if I wasn't trying to fight that? All right, let's just see what this would bring us. All right, so we don't want to, we're going to go down. Let's do like a 2% or 1%, and then we'll do 2%. All right, to me, that would be a nice, could be improved possibly, but that would be a nice peel off into here. It's not too far different than this, but it's different enough. Let me give this some thought and I will be right back. Because it's I think it's worth tearing this apart. I don't really like the way that track is all humpy. And I really don't like how steep this is. I would love to be able to like reduce that a bunch. That means probably getting in here and deleting all of this. And then the bigger issue is how do we tie this back in? So let me think about it, and I'll probably end up deleting some stuff, which shouldn't be too exciting. And then I'm going to see about moving that one switch back to here, and then we'll go from there. I might lay out a little bit, just so it's not just me running around trying things for 45 minutes. Just give you guys the hopefully end result. All right, see you in a bit. The plans are expanding mightily. It's quite a bit of changing, but okay, what did I think? Here's what I thought. First of all, get rid of the firewood and the thing, which we're probably right about where I'm standing now. You can see this is the thing we left here. This is the original track coming in, so yeah, it's right about this area was where that firewood was. But what I got to thinking was we were really I'm confining myself too much to this location, right? For whatever reason, I needed to just rethink it and said, well, let me come down here and just draw a straight line as far this way as I can. So I just went straight on out till I hit that hill and then cut all the trees down so I could see how far away that was. Turns out I don't think we really need to go anywhere near that far, but it does give us a good idea, right? I don't see that we're ever really going to have a need for a yard here. Now, they could change the map, and that could be a future thing. So one of my thoughts was, do we have a way to get down into here? And I'm thinking, well, this is going to be a straightaway here. If you ever needed a yard, you might be able to break off that way. But that's sort of getting into future problems. So what is the problem we have? We don't need this one anymore, but we do need to switch coming out of here, right? So, like, in other words, these two need to be able to switch to go either this direction or that direction. So what I thought was that could be after here, right? So this would be when you come in, this would be the flipper, where you want to go this way or that way each time. Now, this one might have to swoop, around like it did before and then come back in there, but I don't think that'll be too big of an angle. And then this guy, one of the things that has happened is one of the longer trains that we may at times leave sitting here, depending on exactly how things go, is we have the 13-car train. Well, that 13-car train doesn't really fit in this bypass. So one of the other problems I want to fix is to bring this around a little bit different where we split them here, right? So this one would be the track that goes into the smelter itself, and then this would be the bypass track where you would go all the way around and then meet back up with this outer track here where you don't pick stuff up. I did want to mention I got a comment that said you can build a bridge across this iron ore in order to be able to drop off the stuff straight ahead, right? Like, see how that's kind of a change of subject slightly, but we could pull straight ahead if we build a bridge across there. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's a excellent thinking. There's no doubt about that. I'm not disparaging the comment or the idea or the creativity. All of that was wonderful. Just to me, it's a little bit, I don't know. They set it up that way for a reason, to make it more difficult, to make it more probably realistic. Not every load and every rail situation can just be pulled through like that. So, but in any event, let's go back to what we were doing. So just know that you could do that. If it really irritates you that you have to unload each one at a time, you could do that, and it's a good idea. All right, so we'd come out here. This would be the split, right? We'd feed back in. Both of these would feed back in. Now, so this would be the loop around the smelter would start here, which would mean we would then need another switch. So I just sort of wanted to see what, this is a 15 degree when I use the alt mode, and this is a 20 degree turn. So I think that those are both very reasonable. Now, the only other issue is how can I let's get another switch and see what that looks. All of this is level at this point, but I am liking this as being an improvement for the moment. Let's go ahead and put kind of my minimum back up a little bit so I can see. Yeah, that would be about my minimum straight section in between, and then I think I'm going to need a little more. I just want to put this out here so it doesn't dip that thing down. It sort of seems to dip down pretty easily. All right, so I'm assuming I would do a switch right thing on the right, attached to there. So that does push me out a lot further. All right, so let's get rid of like all of that. Yeah, even that. Well, yeah, might as well get rid of that one too. Let's just get rid of kind of all of it. It's all level, so we can. All right, so I don't really mind that this one, I think one of the issues we have is that I really don't like coming down this hill, and this is a pretty common one that I have to switch. So I like the fact that we're swinging out a lot wider to go up there. It's going to be more running around to get to the switches, but so my bigger concern in saying all that is to be able to get turned and to be able to get back into here. Now this one can get moved down further too. Not that it matters that much, but so let's go ahead and put our level back in here. I'm going to start right there. All right, to there. Let me demolish this and this. All these little bits. We got bits and bits. All right, yeah, I'll even demolish this. All right, then I'll come off of this one, and we'll do 1/2 and 1/2. How's that sound? We'll get that pretty close. Yeah, close enough. Let's match that guy up. I'm not sure if that's exactly how we go. This one's just there, and then we'll come back from here. All right, maybe something like that. So now I want to go with one section that's kind of straight out of there. Let's do Alt. And that 20 is what I don't think 20 is unreasonable. I don't know if that's great for all of the locomotives. Let's just see what that does for us. All right, I'm not too worried about the height at this point, obviously. It's really not unreasonable, is it? I mean, it's a little hard to see this other one in the way, but I mean, that could swing right up in there. I mean, if we went to put our switch a little bit further up this way, right? Picture we would just extend that track kind of straight out. Yeah, that's really not that unreasonable. That's pushing that other one to come really off of that hill over there a lot further. It's going to be more running around to get to all these switches. I don't like that portion of it, but let's just come off of here and do a 15 like I did before and see what that. Somewhat random, but all right. Oh. One thing I don't like about what I did was just by not raising it up, I am kind of making it so that I would cover that one up if I ever. But yeah, that definitely changes the look of it quite a bit, doesn't it? But I do kind of like the way that comes right around there. If we can get the switch in the right spot over here. All right, so let's cut down some more trees. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll just save that up. Let's just see. I have the switch in. Yeah, I think I would see what we did with up here next, or over here. Well, let's do over here first. All right, I think I would try to bring that. I mean, that has to be a certain slope, but now we're going to be a lot further out this way. All right, so we can be further out that way, so this doesn't need to be. This definitely can be. Yes, I hate the idea that we have so many hidden piles of gravel. It definitely is taking longer these days to load everything in. All right, so we're just going to get rid of. Definitely get rid of all of this. All right, get rid of that. Nope, absolutely not what I wanted. Let's do a constant grade because we're just going to do level anyway. See where level ends. Level ends like right there. Let's see where this one. Yeah, this was way too steep coming in here. It worked, but it wasn't ever pleasant. All right, so if I could stay straight, I'm even going to delete one of these back. All right, if I could just stay straight there instead of getting closer to the hill. Yeah, just a little bit off, huh? Which leads me to another thought. Let's go. All right, just till we're out of the grass. All right, if we make that the new height. Oh, did I just delete it? Oops. That's all right, we'll just. All right, that becomes the new height. That is the new level all the way out over that way. All the way up to where we do our thing for the bridge. Yeah, right there. All right, let's run this closer. And we can always do another abutment kind of thing. Let me out. right, so this was 4 1/4, and then we could just sort of do a bridge abutment stuck in there. We can always decide what looks nice, I guess. But so yeah, let's just do 3 as you come off of there. And then yeah, I'll keep doing 3, and then we'll do 2. That's 4. Let's do 1. So just do it till it sinks in there. You know what, the LOD is annoying. There are some people that are quite upset by it. One guy quit. Well, it's because, yeah, I guess to each his own at that point. So let's come here and switch right with the thing on the right would be. All right, that'll give us a chance to start going uphill a little bit. I'm going to assume that the track will be right in the middle. I'm going to do a variable. All right, so we get up to here. So 1 and then 2. I think if we stayed at 2, and then 3. All right, we'll just leave that there as part of our new, because this is all going to go. All right, so this switch will be moved. And then that's kind of good because there's another section of this track that was annoying the heck out of me. Every time we came around this turn, it's like hanging over the edge of that up there. That was annoying the heck out of me. So and then the other thing was just having to stop on that downhill because that's pretty common. Not of all the switches, but that's a very common switch for me to have to stop on that hill. So I'm hoping we can make it at least somewhat more gradual. So I think the thing now to do is to maybe try to, can we reverse engineer our a constant grade down to there? That makes sense. All right, so we'll come here. We'll do another little straight section. Alt mode. And then I think negative is to the left. And we said 20 degrees. And we'll go down a degree to get started, though I'm sure we'll have to do more. All right. Seem to be way out further for some reason. Which I'm okay with. We can always delete this. I just want to see what this. Yeah, so 20 really didn't get us there. We need to start our turn further back. Or start it from this end. But 1 degree was not awful, though. I think we need to be more than 1 degree. Because if we pull it back, then it's going to have to be a little bit steeper. Oops. Yeah, let's pull it back a little bit. So I think we could start it here. Let's go. Maybe we'll just do a little bit tighter a turn. Constant grade. Let's get it right in so it looks nicer. All right. Oh. See what like even 22 does for us. I'm going to go down, like, let's just see what 1.5 down looks like. That's really not bad, is it? All right, so before I get off of that, I think we need to go down 175. Let's get it. 2. Yeah, let me right click on 2 and see what that gets us. How does it look up here? Because I know I was close to that grass, but shouldn't have changed it too much. You know, the closer you are, the less it changes it. As long as it's okay right here. Yeah, I mean, we're in the grass, but that's kind of saying that we're skimming it, you know, kind of perfect, I guess. Maybe perfect's not the right word. And we did bury down in there our other our other thing. I don't like that, but yeah. Well, I think that's pretty reasonable. More tree cutting time. As we run up here. All right, so now this was 15 degrees. What does this actually look like when it comes to meeting up with over here? All right, so there it is down there. It doesn't have to meet up with that, so it's... So I guess we would do... I can kind of see it just over that other stuff. So let's see about another... I guess we'll do a well, let's do a constant grade stone wall for... Well, you know what, we can always replace it. Let's do the regular constant grade. Just a little easier to work with for deleting purposes later, right? So let's just see. Yeah, I want to skim right past that. How do we look height-wise? Trying to get an idea for what we'll have. So we could put the switch on the downhill. Right, yeah, let's just go meet it up to this. Stuck in the dirt. That was 4%, right? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty reasonable as far as staying out. We could try to go a little lower, but I'm not sure that it's going to get us much. All right, so then the question would be if we did a 4% downslope going this way, can we tie in nicely? What does this gravel represent? Yeah, so this is pretty close. Yeah, maybe we do. Let's just see what going from there does for us, because that'll be pretty level. I don't want this to be a constant grade, but I just want to see. Yeah, where does 4 get us? It's looking pretty good. 4 is. All right, it doesn't even have to be 4. 4 is too high, but that's... Let me see if I can get rid of the last section. I don't want bridges. I guess we'll do a switch right, or sorry, switch left thing on the left, like we had before. Assume this track is going to be right smack in the middle of this one for a minute. All right. That looked good as far as the height. It didn't do anything stupid. We do. Well, no, this will be fine. We can leave this one in place. Why is it so much higher? Oh, I only did 3. Darn it. Thought I was on 4. Oh, I didn't really want that to do that either. Wouldn't be a bad option to have it so you don't have to have that connect to, like, I don't really want that to really connect to the bottom of that. Let's demolish this because it's now hurting more than it's helping. All right, so we want to, I think we want to come off of that other one at the constant grade and then stop it, like go back and delete it again, like, but just get that constant grade nice from here. So we want to start at a 4 because that's, then we'll like swoop up. Let's try this again. Yeah, constant grade. That looks nice. We'll do. All right, let's get our constant grade 4 swooping down. Yeah, look how that's in the... All right, I think that's good. And then let's just see if I can't match it up with the variable grade where we were at 3 something, so let's go to 2 something. We're not really anywhere near it though, are we? That was nice though. I like that. The problem is we're not... I'm wrong down this end. It needs to swoop around. I think I'll leave it just like that. Let's start on this end. We'll swoop it up with the variable grade, but now we know like about 3.5 should get us. We'll swoop up to about halfway in there, and then by swoop I mean just go from, like, in this case, rising 3 to 4 to, so that's like level. So we'll just immediately make this like a 1% up because we're kind of away from that other track enough. All right, maybe go to 2. And then we'll go to 3.5. Five. All right, we'll go back down the other way. It's actually, other than we're going to bury this, it's really not bad that. All right, so I'll go to a -3. You're just never going to get me there. I guess it makes sense. So that's really, we just aren't quite steep enough at a certain point here. So that 3.5 is a thing. Yeah, so let's, but that'll give me a better target to shoot for. I can see that target. So I'll swing this wider, but we'll come down and we'll try to make it, we'll do a constant grade till we run into that nicely. All right. Yeah, it should be, I think, a reasonably nice turn. Certainly better than the old turn. And then this will be, yeah, let's get rid of all of this. I don't care if this is exactly 15 degrees. Let's just see what that. Cut some random trees out of here. A little easier to see, even though just one make it so you can never be 100% sure if you don't get every tree. Yeah, let's just see what. That's really not too bad, is it? 2.5%. This should be level. So I can just, let's extend that out till it meets. And I don't think 2.5 will be too much of an abrupt thing. Let's see if my turn ended up reasonably even. That's really not bad. Let's start laying some track finally. We still have a lot of track laying. How many? I don't even know. I'm just going with the record, just recording and having fun. I have no idea how many hours I've been at it. I know, I guess the ballpark. I have some idea, but not a lot. But yeah, I like this. This is much more extravagant, but I mean, we did all of this dropping in a very short period of time in the past, so. I don't think I'm doing too well with my track there, but slow down. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, not far from perfect. We want to redo that. But let's just take a look how far we want to read. I don't know what I was thinking. I really wasn't. I was just laying track and happy to do it. Yeah, let's come back up to about here. There's times that I click and it's pretty obvious that I missed. And it's probably times that I would have deleted the undergrowth or the under. Let's try this using the tool because we know that's about a 15%. Let's just see if we can't. Let's get it started nice and straight. Hopefully it won't. All right, and then we'll, yeah, I think X, right? Yeah. Let's start with like a 7. I get a little confused because it does wiggle like this, but then it sort of fixes it. You know, that's, and then since we did the 7, we'll do, oops, not E. We'll do 10. I kind of ramp up into it. I didn't hit Alt. You know what? That's, yeah. I'm sorry. Wonder why it wasn't working. Doing what I expected it to do. Yeah. So this, let's do a straight section. Straight enough section anyway. And we'll do. Yeah, let's do like 7% and hit Alt. There we go. Hope I hit Alt again by accident. We'll do 12%. What? 12 is, yeah, now we'll do 15. Oh, come on. I think that looks nice. I think the problem is we now have, you know, it's not doing what I didn't keep us on our on our path. Yeah, there's a whole separate challenge to doing this with the angle thing. The Alt mode. Yeah, let's make sure that's at least reasonably straight. Alt. Let's go right up to 10. And we'll go to the 15 before we get too far. Come on. As long as it stays on there, I'm okay. Come on. Yeah, it's just not. And that, my friends, is why I can't stand this tool most of the time. Right? I mean, you could talk about how it can make the perfect turns, but when people get frustrated, that's certainly part of it. So we're going to try it my old fashioned way. You're just going to be more careful than I was the last time. All right, and part of my old fashioned way is just getting into a rhythm and staying right in the middle of the gravel. As long as my hand doesn't kink up and we're fairly smooth with things. I feel like that wasn't very smooth. It kicks us out a little bit that way. Yeah, this is pretty nice. That like it gets a little bit sharp right in here. a little bit sharper. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's too sharp for anything. I don't see any huge wonkiness. So let's just go ahead with this one next. Now this one looks like it's, we'll see. It doesn't, I don't like the way the gravel looks over here, I guess. But maybe that's just an optical. Yep, didn't like that. I didn't like the way I ended it, which means there's really not going to be, like I swung it around to just a little bit too wide, I think. But otherwise, I think it went reasonably well. A little bit sharper here, right there. So I think what I'll do is, it definitely gets sharp down in this area. But I guess it's a 20-degree turn, so if I don't maintain it perfectly, that's the switch. Don't delete that. That's the other thing. Do we try to do the 20-degree turn right on into there? I think we could. Maybe try to use the Alt tool again. I'm not opposed to using it. It just do what works, right? And that just doesn't really work for me in a way. I think we need to... I don't like that you can't really click wherever you want with that for the length. It seems to... Come on. See what I mean? Like I'm just clicking and clicking and clicking, and it's... Really, I mean, that's just ridiculous there. Like, yeah, come on. I really want you to not... I'm in the middle of the turn. Now it's getting... Yeah, I just can't click anywhere. That's... I guess it doesn't work like that. Yeah, see, it's just so hard to line these things up. You know, I guess if you get good at it, but I'm not. So I'm better off doing it the way I know how to do it. People could talk about how you should do it their way and how their way is better. But right now, their way can hit the highway. I'm going to do it my way. Freehand. Now the other problem with my way is I think if you're just way too tight, I'm going to take this a little bit slower this time and kind of try to be more. The problem with my way can be that you can make it over sharp, right? So as long as you're being reasonably consistent and that you're not trying to make the sharpest turn in the world like we were down there, like we're, you know, I don't think 20 is like overly bad. That felt good, by the way. Like that, I didn't feel like I was really messing it up at any particular point. I think that's nice. Yeah, it's definitely a bit sharper here, but I tried to swing it out wide a bit and then, you know, kind of came back more gently over time. So as long as it didn't do anything goofy down this end, yeah, I think that'll work. Let's go down here and see if we can match all this up. Now this one Definitely need to put in some more groundwork. Gravel. Let me delete this first. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. And that. Did I get stuck? Stuck in that little piece of gravel. I could pull my feet right out of that much gravel. Though gravel will lock you in. There is no... You do not want to get covered with gravel. I've had it happen when like dump trucks are dumping stuff. Like once. After that, I stayed the heck away. It's... Getting stuck in gravel is no joke. If you think getting stuck in dirt is bad, that gravel locks you in. You cannot get out of it. All those rocks and that weight. To be a little bit sharpish right there. We'll see if it causes any problems, right? But we need to be... Yeah, we could definitely be more gradual through right there. Let me do that. All right, because this is a bit of a straight section I could come right back into, so I can make this a little bit better. This part of the S-turn. All right, cheat it. A little bit more like that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, at this point, I don't have any issue with the length of this one. We might end up with more cars down here, so that could cause a problem, but imagine we could try to figure out how to get that switch a little further down this end if we needed to. All right, let's get rid of this. Yeah, make sure that's not part of our road bed. This should be easy enough to tie in, I think. No, I messed up. And I missed at the end anyway, but I definitely could do that one a lot better. Yeah, see, definitely, well, too sharp there, but let's try to do it from this direction. Because this is basically straight, and then this is where we want it, I guess. It's pointed a little bit too far this way. Yeah, it's a little swoopy, whoopy. Do we really want that, or do we just move this over? There's no particular reason that needs to be right there. All right, so let's get rid of... Actually, maybe that's not such a bad thing I did. I really think I hit this one. There we go. I saw the smoke. right, so let's start it from this end. We'll try to get a nice straight section. Where we can put a switch. Right, like right there. Let's go down here and try to put it from here, like perspective. Can we push it down that far? So I think we're going to still do switch left. Then we're going to try to, yeah, I think we, yeah, I think we'll demolish a little bit more of this, and then, and of course I hit underneath. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, it swerves, but it's what was expected. Right, take that one back till it's basically straight. And this one should be fine. Let's let this one be the governor. And we'll keep that other one away from this one. Just bringing this one over this way. All right, how's that turn look? Felt pretty good. A little sharp right there. A little, yeah, we want to do that a little better. One. All right, can I get away with a bit of a straight section there? I think so. I don't like, even if I delete all of this, I don't want to fall in that hole by accident, because that's kind of right where my next piece of track. So what we don't want to do if we're going to have a straight section is make the next section too sharp, right? So that might mean, yeah, it's not too bad for fudging it in. All right, you can definitely see that straight section though right there. How's that look? See that? I don't know why it does that. I don't think I put, we'll see. Let's demolish that again. We should be able to just put it right back in. Oh, you know what? Let's, did I directly attach that? Or was it because I had, oh, come on. I almost had it. I hit the wrong button. So let's reattach this. Yeah, see how that's now up out of the ground. I don't know exactly why it messed it up, but the other thing I didn't like, I had left that section right there, but that one's kind of a thing. I definitely think I want to start on this end, swoop it around a little nicer. There we go. Finally. It feels like I got it. All right, now I want to do another thing. I want to just redo all of this. I feel like that's kind of a complete mess. That's not so bad, but I can't really restart right in that spot, so we're gonna. Start there so I can delete it, and I'll come to here. I'm going to leave it a little bit to the one side. All right, let's demolish a little more of this. All right, yeah, and then we can start here and just kind of run that parallel. That way we see what we have. Well, you know, the other thing to do might be to just do like this number so we end up with it. Probably going to want to put markers here anyway. Then we don't end up with much of that flashy crapola. So hard to. It would be nice if there was a center that, because it's so hard to get that to be matched up perfect, you know. So now this. I'm going to swing that nice and wide. I don't think it matters which way we go from. Let's see if we can do it from this end to make it look nice. I don't know. Yeah, I think it looks reasonable. I don't see anything hugely awkward. It kind of swings a little bit too wide and then comes back in, but it's even hard to see that in the shadows. I'm not sure if you guys would have seen it, but that gives us a lot bigger pull through. So we can pull, if we leave that longer train in there, we got that covered, fixing all kinds of little problems. Yeah, so we can flip around there. Now we'll leave it in this mode because there's no train there. So then this one should be left in bypass mode, and it is. And it doesn't. This will be the flipper. No, we don't. We lost our wood and water, which is, we'll see about that in a little bit. Okay, but that's, so it doesn't really matter which way we go in there. And then right now my train is going to come in from this direction if we ever do that. So might as well flip that one over. Yeah, definitely some more running. Now, did we get it reconnected up at the top here? I don't think we did. Like up further. Yeah, we didn't even do this piece here, so we'll. All right, we're gonna straighten this out back to, yeah, about there. I want constant grade, I think. Yeah, at least to get started. Click too quick. Didn't put my slope in. All right, so let's start out with a 3 and just see where that lands us. Pretty darn close. Well, that definitely looks a lot better. I don't know that it's going to be any easier to stop there. It does swing off to the right a bit, doesn't it? Or to the left. Sorry, might live with that. Yeah, this one's going to be. Yeah, I hate when I do that to myself too, because in almost every case, I end up making it too tight when I do what I just did. When the road work is not exactly. We'll see. Little bit right there. Yeah, it's kind of. Nah, see where I say it's just a little bit. Yeah, It just every time you just need to put in your groundwork right. We do this so we can delete that later. Yeah, then we're going to fight the whole slope thing, aren't we? That's right. We're going to delete that. So let's just get this to be where it's that. 3.5, wasn't it? At least to a certain point. Yeah, and then it started going up. It's tough to get the slope back to the right thing if you don't know what it is, you know, because it changes, and if you're not right, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, let's demolish just the rails. Yeah. I'm going to get this to work our way back down here. So I think that went pretty well, other than I just did exactly what I knew I was doing, but then I didn't stop. Right there, I just, it's too sharp. Now we're back to that. So this way we'll go a little bit more swoopy. You want to leave this one long because as you get into the turn, if that one's kind of long, it doesn't. All right, and the fact that I made that 2 segments is nice. See how much further wider I am? And we'll just try to hold that, the slope of that second piece that we just put in. All right, swings out a tiny bit, but that's okay. A little bit different right there and here. For the most part, pretty even and nice, I think. Again, a little bit sharp right there, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't like the way it bows out. Do you see that? Like it kind of. I'm not even so much sure that it bows out, but no, we're going to have to. I think the splining thing. Yeah, see, some of these are just not. Let's try it the other way. Yeah, it swings out a little bit there, but I feel like that's going to be better. Yeah. Unless there's something funny happen down this end. No. You know, I feel like that should be a reasonable thing. Now, so that's all attached up here. All should be pretty reasonable. Now, when we come back in here, we're going to want to go back up this way. Oops. Get rid of that bit. A little bit. I think we need to be slowing down. We do. More smoothly curved. All right. Let's see how straight we can make these. Not too bad. Come on. No, you just don't want to click there. There you go. Yeah, that was one of my better shots ever. Come on. It's starting to go off to the right a little bit, but not enough to mess with it just yet. The problem is you get snaky. No, I can live with this if that's the further we're off. Maybe we just do a little bit of like a little bit of a correction to get us back on the center. Yeah, see where. All right, so that should be heading back in the same direction. No, it's not really. See what I mean? As soon as you start messing with it, it seems like it's just such a small degree. Can I do quarters of a degree? No, so you got to do at least a whole degree. Wait. Oh yeah, you can do. What does that look like? Yeah, you can't. You know what it does? All right, I need to take a little break. I'll be back. Let me go back up there and delete some of that, and then I'll be right back. There we go. I did a little bit extra off camera, but it's reasonably straight. You can see a couple little turns, maybe. It's just, I don't think it's going to cause any problems. Let's, oops, wrong one. So let's come back up here and see. It's hard to get restarted with this. And then we're getting into attorney, so that's where I came in. I think the problem is if you go too far, it doesn't. I don't know. It's a little goofy in my thinking. I forget. I should have tried to remember what sort of turn we had, right? So the problem is if you can wave back and forth. Like if we want to be on a 3% turn right there, yeah, I think I may just stick with what is this 2.5? Let's do 3. All right, see, can I stick with that? And even if it goes off of the thing for a minute, I could see we're gonna a bit of a straight. No, we definitely need to be more. Yeah, let's. I mean, I want to make that a nice gradual turn, but without remembering exactly what I did. Yeah, so starting right about here. Stop doing the shift thing and do just the turn thing. All right, so we'll get that. I try to keep it lined up with those boards as best I can. Yeah, see how that, well, I don't know, that kind of came back around for me, you know? Come on, do it. Yeah, see, and then that's, it just, that it's like way too much and you end up back at 2. Come on. That might be a bit of a straight section right there. People talk about making better turns. I'd be better off turning off the alt mode, I think, half the time. Come on. And there's that whole issue with the alt mode. But there we go. Now we seem to be at least reasonably close. Like I said, I'm sure you can get better at this, but I'm just not. See, how does that look? Well, it looks like a turn. Right. See, and that's just way too much. It goes from being like not enough to way too much. Now, this I think is straight, isn't it? So let's just see if we can't. Well, we want to do a little bit over the other way. Come on. Go. Yep. Of course, that wouldn't work. There we go. So we made it to the edge of the bridge. We'll go back and take a look on our way back down. Just to let's continue with this for. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason we couldn't take a train trip down there, is there? Right. Well, let's go for it. I don't know if I flipped that switch down the bottom, but yeah, see, look how this is. I don't like that. Let's get rid of that so it's straight coming out of there. We can take a little bit more of this away. Like we might as well take it all away. Hopefully I can't really see 100% where we're going, but kind of line up with the front of that train. Let me get my hand in the perfect position. Should have cut some of those trees down so so that rail isn't right in that shadow. I mean, I can kind of see it, but oh, you just won't go that quite that far, will you? Yeah, that's pretty straight. Throw some firewood in here. And we'll be going downhill. We just glide forward. So our train consists of all the things that we'd need to go up to the coal mine, and I plan on making this trip up to the coal mine. I'm going to stop recording now that we're pretty shortly here. Let's take this down. We'll pull up to the next issue. I have no idea how I'm going to edit all of this. I guess we're up over probably close to 2 hours now. Maybe we'll just say, I'll see what it takes to make a super long episode. So my problem gets to be when the files become over 5 gigabytes. That Microsoft just doesn't like them. Doesn't like to transfer them around for some reason. I don't know if it's considered like they consider them like viruses, you know, like you wouldn't want a virus to write some massive file. Single gigabyte file, 5 gigabyte files is a lot. So it might end up being 2 segments. Now, in the past, I was putting on like 20-some brake to stay at a reasonable speed. And it's a little bit sharp right there, but certainly I'm having no anxiety towards derailing at this moment. We are picking up some speed. Let's just see what happens. Now, sometimes you wonder if there's not issues that are caused. I was thinking about this because, you know, we're having these issues. Is it caused by see how the computer is like things aren't constantly updating. Like all of a sudden that whole thing twitches, you know, like it doesn't take, it's not like the calculations are perfectly done. I'll tell you what, that's a lot better. I mean, just first of all, I don't have to worry about that turn rate back there. I mean, before I was having to be at like 20-some coming down this hill. So we're going to be a lot smoother. And I think I forgot to look at which way this switch was flipped, which of course is a critical one. May or may not have to stop. So we're a lot higher up into here. So I got rid of all that curvy, swoopy that I didn't really like. Cut some of those trees down so that we can see that switch. Oh, it's going the right way. Good. Had a 50-50 chance anyhow. I don't know, did I get all the trees out of the way? Enough of them. See that? We should put on some brakes. Let's see how that. Yeah, that's just so much smoother. Now this is pretty tight here, isn't it? But so much smoother. Had to make a lot of improvements. Just thinking about, we had to redo the back end of this to stop that derailing. Let's see how we make it. I think this will be the first time I really just, oh no, I have gone right around because we did another load like this. But yeah, so we could only get, if we wanted to leave these cars here, we're only going to get like another few. We're not going to get like a train car of 10, which would be nice, but might have to think about how we could expand that. The other thing too is now we can come over further this way if we wanted to get rid of all that other secondary bridge. But that's a lot bigger bridge too, like 2-tiered. I know I'm going kind of slow. Let me go a little bit faster up over this hill. Bump. so we have to stop and pick up some rails. I don't have much for us. Oops, I don't want the reverse one. What am I doing? Kind of see this space gap there. That'll be good enough for now for what we're doing, which is to say not being in the train necessarily. So there we go. We've got this, I think, fixed. I think over time we'll test it out. If we have any issues, we'll see. But you'd see that in the regular, whenever I do some more trips. So, you know, if I come back to fix something, you'll definitely know that that's a thing. But I think we're in really pretty good shape. You know, I think we did a nice thing here. This is, I need to cut down some trees, I think, to make it a little more, make sure we could see these signs. But we'll be pulling out of here and I'll head up there. Maybe we'll even do that in the beginning of the next one. The next thing I want to fix is just that bridge at the top of the hill over there. The one before the valley that goes up this way. There's a bridge like right over there. So that'll be the next thing. There you go, guys. It was super long. I hope those of you that stuck through the whole thing, that's pretty amazing. Thanks for watching. Even if you didn't watch the whole thing, I appreciate it. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. And bye-bye.